I wanted to wish you all a happy Friday surrounded by your family and loved ones, and share with you the story I wrote 2 years ago about the holiday of Hanukkah. I believe you'll find the story and its message helpful as we try to fight darkness with light and bring freedom of speech, equality, and safety to all the people of the world. Kipling, in his poem If, said it best: if you can keep your head about you when all are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. Each of us must choose their path, and it's at times like this that we see the true nature of heroes and bigots, of equality and racism, of truth and libels spread by lies and hate. The most famous poet of the United States, who helped guide American thought, humor, and wisdom, said in his poem, The Road Not Taken, "Two roads diverge in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference." May the light of goodness that is in your hearts expel the darkness that tries to envelop us as it did during Hanukkah and during the dark times of World War II. Here's a part of my short story, On Occasion of a Flower, 8 days, 8 poems, 1 dream. What comes to mind when you think of Hanukkah? Fire, light, war, bravery, sacrifice, God, miracles, unity, flowers? Israel, June 1985. Running is my hobby. I have placed second in the triathlon in Israel for ages up to 15. One day I dreamed I would represent Israel in the Olympics. We will show the terrorists that they cannot break our spirit. The memory of the Munich Olympics and our athletes will be avenged. I leaped over stones, running through thorn-filled bushes as sweat dripped down my forehead. Oblivious to the scratches of the thorns, I felt I was being carried on the wings of eagles, connecting me with the spirit of my ancestors that prayed, worked, and fought amongst these hills. The views from Mount Carmel were breathtaking. The sun began its languid descent across the clear blue skies, and a warm breeze began to gently blow. I thought I heard a voice calling me to stop, but I knew I was alone. Still, I paid attention. As I came to a stop, the voice stopped too. I looked around searching for its source. Before me stretched the panorama we studied about in the Bible. It could have been here that the prophet Elijah uttered his challenges to the priests of Baal. Defying rationale, he had the fire of heaven consume his wet sacrifice. What is it with this bewitching land, I wondered? Why do I get goosebumps whenever I am alone, watching its simple, unpretentious beauty? I've run in Africa, visited the hills of Switzerland and the skyscrapers of New York, and yet none have sent these unexplained currents through my marrow. My breath evened out as my eyes scanned the ground and fell on the red flower in front of my trail. I stood in silent reverie, watching it gently swaying in the breeze. Was the flower talking to me? My grandfather told me of a red flower found only in the Levit, spanning the ancient land of Israel. The flower was red, he explained, from the blood of the Maccabees. My grandfather knew everything. He never lied. Irrational. How can blood become a flower? And even if somehow it became a flower, why would it become a red flower? But then again, this land is full of contradictions and unexplained phenomena. I kneeled closer to hear whether indeed the flower was trying to speak to me. A few drops of blood rolled down my thorn-scratched arms and landed on its red petals. They seemed to vanish into the flower. I was transfixed. Indeed, this flower unique to Israel is called the blood of the Maccabees. My grandfather explained to me that every spot where the blood of the Maccabees or of any of the Jewish soldiers was shed, God has planted this flower. In fact, this flower has become synonymous with Yom HaZikaron, Memorial Day for fallen soldiers and victims of terrorism. In Arabic, it's called the blood of the Messiah. Were all three right, I wondered? Can this flower be sending echoes from the past and telling us of the future? What would it whisper if it spoke to me? Would my blood one day transform into its flower? Years have passed, and I often return in my mind to that place on the mountain when I lost my way and was stopped before the flower. In vain I spoke to it, in silence, asking it to share its story with me. And now, as I try to understand its silence, I realize I was not ready then for its words of wisdom. Am I ready now? What would it have said to me today? What would I say if I were the flower? Would I whisper, as Robin Williams did in the 1989 movie Dead Poets Society, "Carpe diem, seize the day"? Perhaps I would warn myself of the path I'd follow. Like Robert Frost, I might say, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Or maybe I would advise like Rudyard Kipling, if you can feel the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. Or maybe I would valiantly insist like William Henley that under the fell clutch of circumstance I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeoning of chance my head is bloody, but unbound. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul. But perhaps the flower would speak to me of the man in the arena, quoting Teddy Roosevelt, suggesting I be the man who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. And then it would offer me to toast to the words of Jack London. The function of man is to live, not to exist, and that I should not waste my days trying to prolong them. I shall use my time. Still, something deep inside me tells me that the flower would not preach at me. The flower would gently sing to me, in the voice of the virgin youth, that untainted heart of a nightingale, that in its short but brilliant flame was guided like a shining star, becoming a national hero, whose last poem, written, read, tossed, then found again, has captured the soul of the Jewish struggle and the examples of the Maccabees. A poem that cannot be properly translated into any language, but it's rather like the Bible, lost in translation. Ashrei Hagafur by Hannah Senesh. Blessed is the match consumed in kindling flame. Blessed is the flame that burns in the secret fastness of the heart. Blessed is the heart with strength to stop its beating for honor's sake. Blessed is the match consumed in kindling flame. Would it say to me, as my grandfather, the grizzled old World War II decorated veteran and staunch socialist turned ardent Zionist, who loved to repeat with a smile in his broken Hebrew the words of Hillel, Im ein ani li mili, im lo achshav ei matai, ve'im rak ani li, mi ani. Or in translation, if I am not for myself, no one will be for me. If not now, then when? And if you are only for yourself, then who are you? And yet I know that no matter what story, song or poem the flower would share with me, it would end with one sentence. Im tirtzu, ein zot agada. If you will it, it is no dream. Theodore Herzl. As we light the candles, we are reminded, as our sages say in the Talmud, that the tzaddik, a righteous man, falls 7 times but always rises again. And so will the Jewish people. As the 7th day burns to an end, we will replace those candles with 8 new candles, and the light they will emit will increase, as will our spirit. Our spirit will rise again and remind us of our heritage, our faith, our perseverance. It will unite us in hope, in brotherly love and respect, helping usher in the Messiah. God bless you all. May you be healthy, happy, be good, do good, and may good come your way. Wishing you all Shabbat Shalom with happiness and peace. And may the hostages come home soon to join us at the Shabbat table. God bless you all.